The silly moments, the proud moments, even the hard moments. They're why Wellmark Blue Cross and Blue Shield is committed to making healthcare better, more affordable, with more choices for care, and peace of mind through it all. Because Blue is here for you.
Welcome to the Made in Iowa podcast presented by Wellmark Blue Cross and Blue Shield. Do you love Coke? I love Coke. Today I sit down with Dan McNutt with Atlantic Coca-Cola Bottling, and they serve most of the state of Iowa and contiguous states with all of that yummy, nummy Coke that we drink. He's going to talk about their automation journey and the return on that investment. I hope you enjoy the conversation as much as I did. I am thrilled to have in the studio today Dan McNutt, who is the Senior Director of Warehouse Operations for one of Iowa's beloved manufacturers, Atlantic Coca-Cola Bottling. You produce one of the most addictive drinks on the planet, Coca-Cola and Diet Coke, and Mr. Pibb, as you can see, it's all around here. Welcome to the studio.
Thank you very much. Glad to be here.
I toured your facility, and we established it's been about 3 years ago. You had solved one of the greatest challenges that your company faced by automating your packaging line,
Yes.
really.
Yeah, it's
correct?
Our pick line is what it's termed in the industry.
The pick line.
Yeah, the pick line. So that's where we put all of the orders together for all our customers in each day, Monday through Friday.
And seeing the way that you control the chaos, because you never know what order is going to come in. You never know what that pick is going to look like.
That's correct.
And really putting control to that chaos is amazing. I want to start back at the roots of Atlantic Coca-Cola Bottling. I had the pleasure of knowing Jim and Dorothy Tyler, who are both since passed, but what an amazing story and what an amazing legacy they've left the entire state. Yeah. Talk about that history.
So it's a family-owned business, and it's gone through many generations of the Tyler family. It started off in 1909, where they sold ice and ice cream. It was our current chairman, which is Kirk Tyler. It was his grandfather and his grandfather's brother that started this. And they were selling the ice cream very well and doing real well with the ice cream part of the business, and decided to buy a creamery. This original place that they started in is a place called Villisca, Iowa. Mm-hmm. Villisca is a town over by Atlantic. Atlantic is about an hour west of Des Moines. And when they purchased the creamery, it was in Clarinda, Iowa, and this was back in 1912. This was a long time ago.
Wow.
And the story goes that when they were working on this creamery, and cleaning out the warehouse, they discovered a safe. And within that safe was a franchise for Coca-Cola. And so they decided to give this Coca-Cola thing a try. And here we are talking about a major business in the state of Iowa, which is the perfect place for this company to be.
And they say luck is where preparedness and opportunity meet. And those Tyler brothers were right there at the intersection of preparedness and
what an opportunity too.
Wow.
To get into a business like that. And
where was Coke back in 1909? How much a part of everyday life was it?
I think you had Coca-Cola, and that was about it.
Okay.
There wasn't things like Mr. Pibb and Diet Coke and all the other products that we sell to this day.
Wow.
You had Coca-Cola, and you had to make it work, and it just blossomed from there. People like something about Coca-Cola Classic, as it is called now. It wasn't called that in the beginning.
Right.
But it's called Coca-Cola Classic, and maybe we all know the new Coke story, but that was one for...
Failures happen to everyone, right?
Is what it was, is marketing genius. You bring in a new Coke, and you bring back the old one, and everybody wants their Coke Classic back. But anyway... So 1912, got the franchise rights, and started that off. From there, they continued to build in that territory And it was in 2016 when they purchased 7 different distributors in the state of Iowa.
So we can explain to the listeners, you basically get a region, right?
Yep.
Every region, every territory has a distributor.
Correct.
And the only way that you can enter a new territory is if you buy that territory, correct?
Yes, correct.
So you've got to wait for somebody to retire.
It's the rights to distribute.
Okay.
So they had, back up just a little bit, in 1980s, they had purchased the Des Moines area territory.
Okay.
Then it was in 2016 when they expanded to 7 different branches. From then, they continued to expand. That purchase in 2016 quadrupled their volume.
Holy buckets.
And think of that. One day you're doing this amount, the next day you're quadruple your volume, and they're still, to this day, a very successful business.
Wow. And that does not come without challenges. So 2016, you've got to figure out how to do things more efficiently.
That's correct.
And you had all kinds of challenges at that point. Workforce, you were turning people over because a lot of that was done manually, correct?
Yes.
They were picking manually and they were putting it on the pallet and wrapping it.
That's correct.
And
So the orders come in. The warehouse has to take those orders. And back in the day, it was done by paper. Then we went into a voice picking system. Now we're doing a different system, but you have to put those orders together in a way that it's stable to be on a transport truck or a distribution truck, a route truck. And if it's not stabilized and it's built bad, then it'll fall over. The way that we build the orders back then, when we were in the voice picking or the manual picking, was by a lot of practice. A lot of practice to make it
and you needed
a good
tenured employees that knew how to do it.
If you turn people over, you had constant problems with the way things were built, mispicks on orders, errors. And so that's the main problem with some of the way things happen. And what really led us to what we're here to talk about today is our semi-automation, which is called Vertique.
And I want the audience also to understand who you're distributing to, because that gives them the scope. So it is the 12 packs that are in the cardboard.
Yep.
It is restaurants and bars. So that's in the fountain pop
in the
syrup.
Boxes. Yep.
And you've got C-stores who are selling the bottles and grocery stores.
There's 550 different what we call SKUs.
550 SKUs.
Yep. And that's all packaged together in many different ways. You have the 12 packs, you have the 24 packs. Coca-Cola, to be honest with you, I couldn't tell you how many different SKUs of Coca-Cola Classic we have, but there's a lot. You have 20 ounce, 2 liters, 10 ounce, you got glass, you have plastic cans, aluminum, it's just all sorts of different kinds. You have, we have other products like Body Armor, Monster Energy, all sorts of different SKUs that we have to put together, and putting that all on a pallet, especially when you order for a convenience stores that sells a lot of different types of those products.
But not a lot of quantity, right?
Not a lot of quantity, but a lot of different single serves. Putting those cases together on a pallet is very challenging.
Let's talk about your region today.
Okay. So
good grief, it's huge.
Majority of the state of Iowa, which is the mothership.
Okay.
We also go into Minnesota. We go down to Missouri and over into Illinois.
There's
certain parts of our territory that do that as well.
And you are delivering to these mom and pop C-stores, restaurants. I can't imagine how many individual locations. Do you have that number?
I don't have the exact amount, but it's in the thousands.
My gosh.
Grocery stores, convenience stores, schools, bars, restaurants, special events like the state fair. There's just all sorts of, we had this weekend, the 4th of July weekend, we had the Savannah Bananas at Kinnick Stadium, just all sorts of different things, massive amounts of product that you have to figure out a way to get on pallets and distribute to all these different locations.
And you've got ebbs and flows too in demand.
That's correct.
So winters, I would imagine, do you sell less product?
Yes. Our peak is in the summer.
I would imagine.
Everybody's thirsty in the summer.
Get thirsty. Yeah.
4th of July is our busiest holiday. So
Is
we
it
had
really?
An extremely busy week last week, sending out hundreds of thousands of cases of product. We have 2 warehouses in the state of Iowa that have product in them. One is in Des Moines, one is in Walcott, Iowa.
Okay.
And then we build all of the orders for all of our 9 different what are called cross docks. Cross docks are we build the orders for them. We load it on a semi truck. The semi truck takes it to like Ames, Iowa, for example.
Okay.
And then once it gets to Ames, it backs up to a dock. We unload the semi truck and we wait for our route trucks that are out on a route that day to come back, and then we load those trucks there.
Do you own the facility that is the cross dock, or is that a shared facility?
All of ours are owned.
Okay.
We have, or we're the only one in it.
Okay.
So it makes it very easy.
Yeah, no kidding.
To deal with and not have to run into FedEx or something like that.
Right. And what is the quantity of product that you sell in a year?
We do 17 million cases of product in a year. And
Stop.
Yeah, so 60% of that comes out of our Des Moines facility. The other 40% comes out of the Walcott facility. We do so in Atlantic, Iowa, that's the mothership, so to speak, where everything started. We do have a production facility there that does 40% of what we sell. They make 40% of all the products that we sell. So that's about 7 million cases, if my math is right.
Holy cow.
That they produce there. So it's pretty exciting.
How is your labor market in Atlantic? I'm from Denison, just up the road, and I know we've had challenges in the past.
Yeah,
There's this mass migration to Des Moines.
Yeah, Atlantic's it can be very challenging, but we do okay there. It's just a matter of finding the right people and the right type of person. That it's pretty heavy work, so it's handling a lot of cases, a lot of weight, and so it can be challenging in Atlantic. It can be challenging anywhere though,
right?
And it's just the type of industry that we're in. And this is one of the things that with the Vertique system that we put into the Des Moines branch, this was one of the main issues that we had that we were solving for.
Okay.
Is a turnover problem.
Let's talk through the level of agreement that you all had to reach to invest, because this was not a small investment. This and you had to do a lot of research on which automation you used, who the vendor was, when you were going to do it, who was going to be in charge, all of those things. How did you work through that process?
So there's always a reason why you invest into something is because you have a problem and you want to find a solution. Back at that time, a big conversation amongst a lot of bottlers was semi-automation or automation. Our system is semi-automated, which I'll get into in a second.
Okay.
But there are other fully automated systems, which the machine does all of the work. When we looked into the system, the Coca-Cola bottlers around the nation talked about how they were into Vertique, which is produced by a company called System Logistics. We found that it was a better way for us to go because people had already been into it.
Okay.
And understood it, and it allowed us to collaborate with other bottlers.
And you never want to be the tip of the spear, right? You don't want to be the first one to adapt.
Been there, and it's been very challenging to be the guinea pig, if you will.
Let the others make the mistakes and learn from them. I love that.
So we but collaborated is a better word, I would say, with Coca-Cola Consolidated, which is in Indianapolis, is a main part of where we worked with. And then also Coca-Cola Northeast, which is Hartford, Connecticut.
Oh.
So these are a couple locations that we went to, and we first started out with the Coca-Cola Consolidated in Indianapolis and looked at a lot of their facilities.
Who was the team, Dan? How many people were on that automation team?
I wasn't technically part of that team. I went with the team to see.
Got it. Okay.
To see the different types of Vertique systems, because there are different ones. There's what's called a mini system, which doesn't involve robotics. There's a system like ours, which it's called two palletizer, which has two robots. And there's other ones that are bigger than that and do different things, different layouts and that sort of thing. They have spirals go up higher and with less space and such. Indianapolis, really, the layout that they had really matched the warehouse that we had.
Got it.
And the team that was involved in it were, from our chairman of the board, which is Kirk Tyler. Rob Feeney is our majority owner right now. He was involved with some of the decision making. We had various people from other branches that were involved. Our maintenance manager came and visited with us. Awesome. And we had some other corporate people that were involved in making some of the decisions and looking at some of the different types of the Vertique system.
Gotcha. So you went to Indianapolis, you went up to Hartford.
Yep.
And then you said...
So the main touring or discovery was done in the Indianapolis area.
Okay.
I think we went down to Kentucky too, which is part of theirs as well. And we were really looking at the Mini, which didn't involve robotics.
Okay.
But then we really felt that the two palletizer system met more of what our solution was going to be. And that was for growth and for that employee retention and accuracy and customer satisfaction. So we decided in 2021 to go with the two palletizer system.
All right. And at that time, were you voice picking?
We were voice picking at that time.
All right. So talk about how the order went through the operation and how it was picked before you went to the semi-automated.
Okay. So in a normal setup in a traditional setup is probably a better word. You have a layout and it flows like a snake. It just kind of S curves all the way through. And you have it in a system where all of your 12 packs are together, all of your 20 ounces are together, all your 2 liters are together, so forth and so on. And the reason for that is because those will be at the beginning of your order, and those are going to be parts of or cases in the order that are going to be more quantities.
Okay.
So that builds a solid foundation of your pallet. So the voice pick person says something like ready. The computer tells them what location to go to. Everything is in a location.
So are you driving like a...
It's a pallet jack called a walkie rider.
Okay.
And the walkie rider is it has a platform on it that you ride, so to speak. But
you're building the pallet.
You're building the pallet. So in order to build the pallet, you have to get off and on this walkie rider. Oh. And that's some of the concern for safety. You get off the walkie rider, it tells you to go to a certain location, pick up 2 cases of 20 ounce, you put them on the pallet, and you're
doing this manually.
Doing it manually. You're bending over, you're picking it up, stepping back up on the walkie rider, and move on to the next.
Repetitive motion all day long.
Recipe for
work comp claims,
challenging situations.
Yes.
But we still do some of that picking in our other warehouse in Walcott, and we really watch some of the safety aspects of it, and we have pre-shift meetings and talk about safety, and we stretch. Everybody stretches before, so that's key to making sure that you're trying to be safe. And
right.
We still do that in Walcott. So with the once the order's done being built, it either gets loaded onto a truck or it gets staged, and they go on to the next one.
Okay.
So then we move on to, you want to talk about Vertique and how that works?
Yes, please.
So Vertique is, imagine an L-shaped piece of equipment. Mm-hmm. The longest part being what we call the tower, or the upright of the L.
Okay.
That's about 100 yards long. It is 3 stories high. It holds all of our product. And this is where the semi-automation part comes into play. There are people inside the tower that have to manually put cases on conveyor belts. But the product is there for them. They don't have to go around on a walkie rider to all different locations. The product is there for them.
Chute, right?
They have
basically a galley.
They have they have multiple lanes that they're in charge of, but they can manage it all right there.
Wow.
So on the first floor, we have 4 people that manage all of the lanes that are downstairs, which is about 50 lanes. On the upstairs, we have about the same number of lanes, but it's 6 people because that's the higher volume. And having the higher volume on the second floor is because it's closer to the robots and takes less time to get there. So that's an efficiency piece. We put everything into what's called a bell curve, meaning the higher volume products are in the middle. So there's less walking that the picker has to do.
Smart.
So we try to maintain it that way. And that gets adjusted and fluctuates with seasonality. We sell more Powerade in the summer and a little bit less in the winter, so it can adjust in the way it's set up. Yep. The material handler is what they're called, puts all the products onto those conveyor belts, and then the system takes the products as it needs it. So if you think about the bell curve that I talked about, all of the slower moving items are clear out at the end. I might fill that lane clear out on the end at 8 o'clock in the morning, and it might not take some of those products off of there for another hour.
Okay.
Because it doesn't need it, but it knows at some point it's going to need it, so it's going to tell you to fill it anyway.
Awesome.
So the computer deploys it out onto a conveyor belt, and from there, everything is set up in a way that none of the like products are together in the same bay. So what I talked about earlier in the previous pick lane, all of your 12 packs are together, all your 20 ounces together. In this machine, everything is judged on dimension. So what happens is when you put the product on the conveyor belt, and it goes all the way up to the robots, it goes through 4 to 5 different checkpoints, which are called dog houses. They are scanners that go over the top of the conveyor belt.
Okay.
And once that case goes through there, it judges the dimension of it. So imagine if I had 2 cases of 20 ounce in the same location. It tells me to pick up a case of 20 ounce Coke and I put it on the line, but I actually picked up the 20 ounce cherry Coke. It's going to make it all the way to the customer because it's the same dimension. So in each location, we set up a different dimension type products. But now when you start talking about like Monster Energy, which has a bazillion different types of SKUs, it makes it very difficult to separate those like type of SKUs into the same location. So we do things like we'll have Monster 12 packs in the same location as Monster singles.
Gotcha.
So and then there's a TV that tells them to put what on the line. It clearly says 12-pack Monster. So we try to make it very easy for the material
And I
handler
bet that
to
was
put it
part of
online.
the learning that maybe Indianapolis did when they were building it. Like, don't do this. Don't put them right next to each other.
Part of the training. And you learn by trial and error too. We have things like Body Armor Fruit Punch and Powerade Fruit Punch that can't be on the same line because it says Fruit Punch and it's red. So same color type items you want to try to keep out of the lanes as well. So let's talk about how the efficiencies of this work. When we were building in that first setup that I talked about, we were doing about 1,200 cases an hour as a team.
Okay.
Now with this system and the way that we're set up, it's built to do 3,870 units per hour, but we're averaging somewhere around 4,100 to 4,200 because we're that good.
So you've maximized the efficiency.
Yeah. And we do better some hours. Our highest per hour units per hour is just shy of 5,100 units per hour, which is incredible.
The thing that struck me when I did the tour, and this was literally right after you had launched the automation, it was how intentionally you managed the change. So you really, because people don't like change.
Yeah.
Even though you're making their job more pleasant, you are decreasing the risk of injury, you are making errors less likely.
Yeah.
Like everything points to good, but change is hard.
Yeah.
And you guys spent a lot of time, money, and energy around just really preparing the team for that change.
Yeah. So in talking about Indianapolis and Hartford, we actually sent our team of people that were going to operate the machine and supervisors to those locations to train.
Wow. Smart.
So it was tough because we still had to operate and function back home. But it was a great opportunity. Anytime you talk about automation or semi-automation, people start to get worried about their job and what's going to happen. And we were pretty forthright with our team that this isn't going to happen. Your job titles are going to change. And what we did is we have a hallway we call the Vertique wall or the Vertique hallway. on one side is the historical development of Vertique and how it went down and when it went down. On the other side is kind of a blank wall now, but at the time we had these huge posters that were the job descriptions that were going to be coming with this. And it gave everybody an opportunity to understand how their job was going to change. I'm no longer going to have to be on a walkie rider up and down, throwing cases, bending over. I'm going to be in a machine, putting cases on a belt, and the machine's going to figure out how to build the pallet or build the order.
Wow.
And so they learned that. And one thing we took from it as well is our labor force shifted from an individual picker more towards forklift driving.
And that's way better.
Yeah. So the forklift driving piece is you have to replenish the machine.
Right.
So you need forklift drivers to replenish it. You have to get the pallets off the machine when they're done and load the trucks. You have to receive products from our bottling facility and other facilities. You have receivers. You have to have people put it away into backstock. So we shifted a lot more towards forklift driving. We had that before because we still had to receive products, but not as intense as we do now with the way we have to put it on the machine and take it off as well.
Any lessons learned? Is there anything you look back and think, dang, I wish we would have thought of this?
Oh boy. I think one of the things is, I call it management presence. Management presence in the machine, not to be there to catch somebody doing something wrong, but to be there to praise the people, to be there to help them out when things are getting a little hairy, because you get some areas that can really pick up in speed because of the demand of a certain type of product. You might have a 12-ounce 8-pack bottle, which is a little short guy, sale, and you might have a bunch of those 12-ounce 8-packs going all out at once, which isn't normal. But when it does have a sale, you can get a lot going out there. So just be there to kind of help with some of those types of products or those types of deals that are going on. And then just really getting people to know that you care. And that's the management present piece. I feel like that maybe we didn't do that as well in the beginning. But I think we do a very good job of that now. We have 2 supervisors that are in the machine constantly. We have a warehouse manager that is in the machine from time to time. Our director of operations is in there. I'm in there. I'm not there all the time because I have a few other warehouses around the state. But as much as I can be in any facility that I'm at, I think management presence is a key to being successful and really driving home that family business model that we have at Atlantic Bottling and making sure that people know that you care.
Let's talk through what's next. And a lot of times when you do prioritize efficiency and you see the return on that investment, it makes you look around and go, ooh, we need to do something over here, something over here. Have you started looking at your other warehouse and other operations to say, okay, what's next?
I think there's always the what next in any business that you're in. As far as with like automation or that, you're always looking for ways to help improve things and make other warehouses benefit from it. I think the what next is still kind of the unknown right now because we've made a pretty significant investment in our machine that we have in Des Moines and continuing to try and improve on that. I mean, we're doing really well, but there's always improvements there.
You had a projected ROI, and I would assume because you're exceeding what your productivity levels would be. Are you close to that ROI in 3 years?
That part I'm not fully part of yet, but I feel like as far as the financial piece of it, but I feel like there's some improvements that we've made that is really helping us understand that some of the efficiencies that we're getting from it are probably getting us to that ROI that we want.
Not to mention retention. Turnover is so expensive.
Yeah.
What does your retention look like today compared to 3 years ago?
So 3 years ago, we were 120% turnover, which is crazy.
Yeah.
You think, I mean, I had somebody ask me the other day, what does that mean? It means you're turning everybody over plus some.
1.2, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
so
awful.
That's pretty tough.
And that's chaotic and stressful for everybody.
Yeah.
And it's just a continual cycle.
It's an ugly circle that, you don't want.
No.
And 120% continue to drop dramatically with the system. And I think also the management presence thing helped out. Last year we were at 37%.
Stop it.
Yeah, it was pretty crazy.
That is invaluable.
Yeah. Yeah, that's people liking what they do and appreciating where they're at and understanding what this is all doing for them. I've had people that have come to me and they're in their 20s, maybe 30s, that say they want to retire from here. And that's crazy.
That's amazing.
You don't hear that today from people that they're going to be in one company for 30, 40. We have a lot of very tenured people at Atlantic Bottling.
That's amazing.
And I hope that continues, and I'm hoping that this is going to get them going the right way.
Like I said, when I was there, it was just after the automation, and I expected chaos and angst, and I did not see that.
Yeah.
And that made me truly believe that you were effective in presenting change management.
Yeah.
And
I think
as much as you didn't think that you were present as management, I think maybe more so than you thought you were.
Yeah. And I mean, you're still going to have some turnover regardless, just people's lives change and that, but I'm really proud of what we've done with that. I think we've done a lot. In the beginning of this conversation, we talked about some of the issues that we had, and customer satisfaction is one. This machine doesn't just do it for the warehouse. You think about an accurate order, we're 99.999. I don't even know how many 9% accurate. We used to have every single day in the old picking system, we used to have 120 what we call mispicks just for the Des Moines branch per day.
Ouch.
That's a lot. That's frustrating. That's
That's a lot of angry clients.
Yeah, that's frustrating not only for the warehouse to see that result, but it's the driver having to adjust the invoice. It's the person checking in that gets frustrated because you have the wrong stuff. It's when the driver comes back and gets checked in, then the settlement person has to figure it out. It's the salesman not knowing if his product made it there or not.
Right.
With us being this accurate for all of the facilities that we build for in the Des Moines branch, which is 7 other facilities, we have 12 errors in a day on average. And that's just crazy.
Wow.
To think about that accuracy and what that does, not just for the warehouse, but it does for distribution. It does for settlement. It does for the customer.
Right.
The customers love it when we come in, and it's a
you
great
said
thing.
You're 99.99999 now.
Yeah.
What were you before? Did you have a number?
It really wasn't that bad. It was 99.6 or 7.
Okay.
But that's still a lot of cases when you consider 17 million.
Right.
Do the math.
That's a whole lot of Coke.
That's a lot of, I call it taking a case of pop for a truck ride.
Right.
Because you brought the wrong stuff, you got to take it back. And it comes right back to the warehouse.
Oh, that's awful. I have been struck by how supportive and engaged Atlantic Coca-Cola Bottling is in the community. How important is that to leadership, and how does that influence the type of employees that you recruit?
Yeah, I think it's something that they are constantly putting back to the community, and that with the John Deere Classic that just came out every year, they provide there's a special bike that they provide to somebody in need. It's usually a child that has some physical challenges.
And those are not inexpensive.
No. And they give one of those away every year, and it's just it kind of brings the tear to your eye when you go and you watch them present this, because you realize what benefit that you've made for that person. And they're always looking for ways to help out.
I live in Waukee, and of course, Waukee was home of Atlantic Coca-Cola Bottling. I think it was your first foray into the Des Moines market, wasn't it?
I think there was another one on Fleur before that.
Okay.
That was before my time here at Atlantic Bottling, but that it moved from there, I believe, to that facility, which I believe is now a U-Haul.
Yep, it is.
facility.
But you moved out of the community, but you still support the community.
Yeah.
Your name is on so many of the events in the community, and you're still sponsoring.
Well, and I think it's just people showing their appreciation for what we do and who we're trying to be. I mean, we have competitors that are in some of those things as well, but I think we do a really good job of when we are in those types of events and celebrations and whatnot. So it makes you proud to be part of it when you see I always watch I can tell you when it's a Coke movie or when it's a Coke stadium, or I'm always seeing that symbol on there, and other people don't see that.
Well, I don't think I've got anybody from Pepsi that watches this, and I hate to even say the word, but I'm not kidding you. My entire family, my husband, we all are Coke people, and we go into restaurants, and when we say we want a Coke,
yeah,
and they say, "Is Pepsi okay?" The answer is always no.
Yeah,
it is not okay.
Yeah. It's a different brand altogether, but it's something that we take pride in our quality of product, and we am constantly testing, constantly doing, just practice things on making sure we're secure and we have good product, and we're doing what we need to do to provide.
All right, I'm going to close with this question.
Okay.
I was just at an association headquarters, and the board chair has taken it on himself to be the date checker in the association refrigerator.
Okay.
And so I'm not kidding you. I never look at the date. Yeah. I've never paid attention to it. I don't know if there's a difference. So he gets in there. Every time he goes to headquarters, he takes all the old ones out and is fanatical about it.
Okay.
Is it really a thing?
Every product is perishable.
Okay.
So they all have different dates depending on what it is, and the products. Some last 90 days, some last 2 years, depending on what the product is.
Okay.
So yes, it is a thing.
It is a thing.
You got to drink more Coke so it doesn't go outdated.
I know.
That's something that we take a lot of pride in rotating and making sure that our entire warehouse is set up in what's called a location-based inventory. The computer tells us where everything's at, and we put the oldest product on the line first, so that it's not old and outdated, but it's the oldest of what we have, and that makes it so that we can continue to provide the freshest products out of the store.
So the C stores, the grocery stores that you service, you're rotating the old stuff out of there? You do that? Or
we rotate in our stores. We have a merchandising team that goes in and merchandises. Merchandising team is one of the largest departments that we have in our company. Huh. So they're putting products on the shelves, they're building displays, they're rotating the products, and they do a fabulous job doing it.
No kidding.
So yeah, there's a lot of time and effort put into making sure that every single bottle that's out there is fresh, ready to go.
Talk about your workforce and the jobs that are available right now. We have a lot of young people and school leadership that listen to this podcast. What skills are most important to Atlantic Coca-Cola Bottling?
I don't know if it's considered a skill, but there's a couple of things that I always like to say to any teachers or groups that come in and talk about that sort of thing is punctuality.
Wow. Hey, seems basic.
Reliability, showing up to work, doing a good job, focusing on your job, and making sure that it gets done right. There's some heavy lifting involved with what we do. There's repetitive lifting, but we do it in a safe way and make sure that everybody is, using the legs to lift some of the heavier stuff. And but that, from a skill set standpoint, being able to really focus in on what the machine is asking you to put on the line. You have to read a TV screen on some of the lanes. Some of the lanes, it's a matter of, this is Coke Classic. You put Coke Classic on this lane. It's full at the end of the day. It's full at the beginning of the day. The computer will take off what it needs. So just making sure that we continue to keep those going. I think one of the biggest things is if you just are reliable and dedicated and personable, it's that family environment, I'm telling you, that we have that's really going to help retain some of those people, I truly believe.
Awesome. Well, it's great to have you in the studio.
Thank you so much.
And best of luck with whatever is next for you. And keep that Coke wherever I need it, please. And
we can do that.
Go get all of those Pepsi restaurants and get the Coke in there, would you?
I'll try.
All right. Thanks for coming in.
Thanks so much.
You bet. Thank you for tuning in to Made in Iowa. Subscribe, like, and share wherever you listen. Catch episodes weekly from the Iowa Everywhere studio on the BPC streaming network.